What's happening, YouTube? Today we're going to talk about leveling keys and how they work, why I remove these aftermarket ones, and really all the damage that I've experienced these causing to my truck from putting them in. So it might be an inexpensive way to get your truck that couple extra inches in the air, but at the end of the day, I'll let you decide after this video if it's worth it or not. But before we do anything, I'm going to pull the truck in the garage and see. I can actually show you guys what's happening with the angles and stuff, but we're going to go ahead and give it a rinse first. So we'll go do that and then we'll get right into these. Alright, so I'm just on my way to the wash right now, and I actually thought of the first reason why I like these keys more than the aftermarket ones is ride quality. Now, these stock keys ride, part of my language, a fuck of a lot better than those aftermarket ones. I remember when I first put them in and I went down this highway and all I could do was cringe, because every bump I hit, I felt, the whole cab felt it, and you know, it's just not a great ride. Like it's stiff. Let's give this girl a good rinse off here. Alright, truck is clean. Now I'm going to go get a wiper blade because that's not good. Okay, so how do these guys work? Well, what you have underneath is you have this cross member here, and your leveling keys just sit in here. I'll set one in here to show you kind of how they sit. But it's up something like that. So this is splined, hex keyed to your torsion bar. As you can see here, that long bar all the way up and into the bottom of your control arm. So what your key is doing, since it's splined to it, and you have a forcing bolt in here, that's going to be pushing up into this poppet, I guess you could say, or detent, and that's going to be forcing this key up. Now, as you're doing that, since we're splined to that bar, it's also going to be twisting that bar, and that's going to be transferred to our lower control arm, forcing it down. It's going to want to roll down, right, as we keep forcing this bar up. So that sets kind of where your control arm's sitting and how much spring tension you have there. So you can see right now that my control arm is sitting flat, which is the optimum angle for them to work at. And that's the optimum angle for your ball joints, your CV, your tie rods, all your front end joints really. So the difference between the stock keys and the aftermarket ones, like this one, this hex is actually oriented further back than the stock. So what happens is these get torsioned even further yet, and that's going to force your control arms down, and that's where you get your ride height. So this is about factory ride height, and this is where I have it set right now. And when you have your leveling keys in, I'll go down here and show you guys. So you see the angle our control arm's sitting at right now, and our ball joint and our tie rod. Now let's go ahead and simulate putting in the leveling kit. So now our angles, I think, I mark. So that is about leveled. As you can see, that's about how high it sits with the leveling keys in. So now, look at all our angles. Everyone's sitting pretty sharp. A little better view at it. Why is that a problem? Well, when ball joints are built, they're meant to run at a straight up and down angle. That's their normal running range. When we go ahead and put this leveling kit in, we're now bringing the arm down, and that's going to cause our ball joint to work at an angle further out. So now you can see it right now, our ball joint's angled way out here. And what that's going to do, whenever we hit a bump, that's going to get transferred just into the side of the ball joint. It's not meant to take the load this way, it's meant to take it straight on. So I actually took out the uppers, the lowers, my tie rods, and I also did my wheel bearings, but I think those were mostly because of my tires. Now, I left the leveling kit in after I did all this, and about 5,000 K later, I noticed my lowers failed again. That's about, I don't know what, 3,000 miles. And my lowers already failed again, and they were bad. So I replaced them again. Luckily, I had warranty on them. They're the heavy-duty ball joints, but they still didn't hold up. And I think that's because I had the leveling kit in. All these angles are maxed out. And then I got these big wide tires, not these ones, but I had those big wide tires on here, which also didn't help with all that impact, right? So I'll show you again one more time in comparison. So there's about where we sit at level. Look at our angles. And that's where we sit at factory. So you can see that's a much better working angle for everyone. Made my wheels fit on this thing, so that was the cheap way of doing it. And then you realize, well, maybe I should get a proper lift in this thing. The difference between the lift is it actually brings everything down. So it drops where your lower control arm mounts. You get a taller spindle. It drops your diff down, so your CVs aren't running at an angle either. So it actually drops your whole front suspension down. That way, everything's still running at the optimum level angle. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to give you my experience on it and what I found with the keys and the issues I had. They work awesome. They can get tires under there, but yeah, you're definitely sacrificing your ride quality and your component life. So your front end component life, I guess I should say. So that's two big things to keep in mind. All right, but anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up for this video. Let me know down below what you think, what your experience was with this stuff and these leveling keys.